And hello again, everyone. I'm John Evans in the WECT Digital Studio on a Monday afternoon. It is the 15th of June, and we're starting a brand new week with a lot of stories that we're catching up on for WECT News. Now we're going to have a check of your weather and an update on traffic in southeastern North Carolina in just a moment. But let's start, as we always do, with what we're watching on this Monday. And I just told meteorologist Ella Tanzi she needs to be in Raleigh on Saturday. There's a parade for the Stanley Cup champions. More details on where and when that is taking place. More hot, humid conditions, though. You know, it felt a little cooler today. It was about 6 degrees. So it's, still going to be hot, still going to be humid for most of the week. We're going to wrap up Fran's Fans and tell you just how many fans we collected, along with Francis Weller's hard work, along with Lowe's Home Improvement Stores, to help needy individuals, seniors, keep cool in the summertime. We're hearing closing arguments today in the double murder trial that's happening in New Hanover County Court. Omonte Bell, Dyrell Green, both charged with murder from July of 2021. We're going to get those details as well. And you may not know this is Internet Safety Month. Kind of coordinates with kids getting out of school. Most kids getting out of school for the summer months. They have more time on their hands. They may be doing more surfing online. And there's some need for parents to have some tools to keep the kids safe when they're online this summer. So that's what we have as far as what we're watching. And as we said, Caniacs, you need to be in Raleigh Saturday morning when the city hosts a parade for its Stanley Cup champion NHL team. Carolina defeated Las Vegas Sunday night in Game 6 of the playoff to win the franchise's second Stanley Cup, 20 years after the first one in 2006. Hurricanes captain Jordan Staal named playoff MVP, the oldest player to ever win the Conn Smythe Trophy. He's 37. He sure didn't look it during the games. Carolina went 16-3 in the playoffs, dominated most of their opponents. Raleigh's Mayor Janet Cowell says the parade for the team will start at 11 Saturday morning in downtown Raleigh. There will also be a celebration on Hillsborough Street afterwards. So Saturday morning, downtown Raleigh, if you're a Caniac, you need to be there. The championship also marks a return to prominence for Canes coach Rod Brindamore. He was the captain of the 2006 Hurricanes team that won the Stanley Cup. He retired in 2010 and has been with the franchise in Raleigh ever since. Part of the front office, assistant coach, and then became head coach in 2018. He talked after Game 6 about how special the franchise and the Raleigh area are for him and his family.
We have a lot of talk in our room about caring, and that's not phony. You can't, and so this has been my home forever. My kids have been raised here in Raleigh and played for the team, and it's just, I'm very lucky. I don't know how many coaches anywhere kind of have that, and, and we know coaching has a shelf life, we get it, but certainly not this year. So it's, but it's a special bond that I think I get to have with my guys because I've been here so long, and some of them have been here so long, and that's special.
Now, fans have already started buying their Hurricanes championship merchandise, too. Dick's Sporting Goods store in Cary had it all. Hats, shirts, jerseys, all saying 2026 Stanley Cup champs. There it is. That's a great logo. Don't forget the parade for the team once again this Saturday, 11 a.m. in downtown Raleigh. The celebration on Hillsborough Street afterwards. And we can't forget about pro basketball. The New York Knicks won the championship Saturday, defeating the San Antonio Spurs in 5 games. Unbelievable comeback in Game 4. Just kind of showed how symbolic this Knicks team is of being just so determined to win. New York City's Mayor Zorhan Mamdani said there's going to be a ticker tape parade for the Knicks Thursday morning at 10. He predicted the parade through Manhattan could be the largest in the city's history. So the NBA parade Thursday, the NHL parade on Saturday. Got to honor those champions. All right, 4:35 on a Monday. That's another hot one across the area today. There's Ocean Isle Beach. Weekend of first alert weather day saw heat indexes in the triple digits. Not quite as hot today, but when you're talking 93 degrees versus 99. There's not much of a difference. Meteorologist Ella Tanzi is in the digital studio with us. Another hot, humid day today. Had some cloud cover, so it really didn't feel as hot today.
Yeah, it didn't feel as hot, but I mean, temperatures certainly were up there. We hit 91 this afternoon, and we're going to see some cooler temperatures as we go throughout our Tuesday as well. But don't worry, that heat does return later on this week. So we are looking ahead to the next big change, and we're going to see most of those changes surrounding temperatures. So yes, cooler tomorrow, then another warming trend and even stressful heat returning on Friday. You can see those temperatures bouncing around between the 80s and 90s all week long. So yes, tomorrow going to be much cooler, with highs in the lower and middle 80s. Then we're nearing 90 degrees again on Wednesday. And Thursday is trending to be the hottest day out of the week with highs in the middle 90s, but lots of moisture will be in play. So it feels like values going to jump right back into the triple digits. Yeah, so we're back in that stressful zone for Thursday and even nearing it on Friday as well. More moisture will come in. So it's going to be another hot and humid late week, and we are also going to see a better opportunity for some showers and storms later on this week as well. So those rain and storm chances just staying above 0% for tomorrow, Thursday, and Saturday, where we're eyeing down Wednesday and Friday as being our best opportunity for some isolated scattered showers and storms. But we're also keeping an eye out for Friday because we will have more moisture in play, and we're actually going to see some tropical moisture move in. We're not talking about any tropical storms impacting us here in southeastern North Carolina, but we do want to note that this area of low pressure off the coast of Texas and the Gulf does hold medium development odds. Not likely, again, to see a tropical storm or hurricane here at home, but some of that moisture could potentially creep into our region, and that will lead to a better opportunity for those showers and storms later on this week. Again, Friday, likely going to be the time frame with the best opportunity for some showers and storms, so don't be surprised if, we do have those higher rain chances mixed in. But overall, I mean, it's going to be hot and humid once again later on this week. Tonight, mild and muggy, overnight lows in the 70s, clouds, stars tomorrow. More clouds will be mixed in, and we're also going to feel those cooler breezes. So lower 80s compared to the lower, middle, and upper 90s.
Better get the jacket out.
I know. Maybe some hats and mittens. But, I mean, again, it's going to be nice to have those cooler temperatures stick around at least for Tuesday. Wednesday, near 90 degrees, right? Fine. But eventually, it's summer. Summer starts on Sunday, and Sunday's actually Father's Day as well, but it's...
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yep.
Should be a national holiday. It is a national holiday.
It is.
Should be.
I mean, it's Father's Day on Sunday, and, Dad not only gets their own day, but also the first day of summer, and it's certainly going to feel like it with temperatures back in the 90s. And I mean, it just stays hot even through this 10-day forecast, I should say.
Well, we could use the rain. We got some, at least at the Evans house on Saturday.
Yeah?
We got a pretty good dousing on Saturday, so that was nice.
I tried to, make sure that we can have those showers and storms spawn over your house so that the backyard can, get some much-needed rainfall. I know other backyards certainly do need the rain, like my house on Saturday. I was watching this one storm on radar, and it was pretty much just stationary just to the north and east of me. And I'm looking at my backyard, and my grass is just crispy, and I'm like, we need the rain.
Come on, Mother Nature. Get it a little bit south for helping Ella out. Huh?
We need more widespread rainfall.
Yeah, you're right.
Especially to help get out of the drought.
All right, meteorologist Ella Tanzi. You'll see her on WECT News throughout the day. Appreciate the update, Ella. Thanks.
You.
Now, WECT's Friends Fans campaign will help thousands of seniors stay cooler in the hot summer months we have ahead. Our Frances Weller was at Lowe's Home Improvement Stores in Brunswick and New Hanover counties last week collecting fans that many of you bought and donated to the cause. She shared the final collection numbers for each location. The Monkey Junction store collected 640, just beating Southport's 635. Leland store collected 368, University Center 489, Porter's Neck 305, a total 2,437 fans. They'll go to senior centers in the 5 counties and will be distributed to seniors to stay cool during the summer months. Thank you to everyone who took part in Franz Fans 2026. Okay, attorneys today are presenting their closing arguments in that high-profile double murder trial we're following in New Hanover County Court. Amante Bell and Dyrell Green are on trial for the murders of Cordreese Tyson and Brianna Williams back in July of 2021. The murders happened at a home that belonged to an executive of True Colors Brewing at the time. Prosecutors said today the 2 men are charged with first-degree murder because, in the prosecutor's words, they intended to kill the 2 victims. They just didn't intend to get caught. Green's defense attorney said the state does not have any proof, just stories, just theories. WECT's Ariana Bertolotti has followed the closing arguments today. She'll have an update on the closing arguments on WECT News starting at 5:30. A jury in Columbus County convicted this man on first-degree murder, Brandon Mincy. He'll spend the rest of his life in prison without the possibility of parole. The jury found him guilty for the 2023 murder of Elisa Lee. Investigators found her body floating in some water near Heartbeat Bridge in the Nakina community of Columbus County. Investigators first charged him with accessory to murder after the fact, but they later upped the charge to first-degree murder after they found digital evidence and linked him to the crime. Now, we first reported this manhunt Friday, and it's still going on tonight. Investigators in Columbus County looking for 18-year-old Eric Martin Jr. He's considered armed and dangerous. Authorities say he's wanted for the murder of Raphael Goins. Deputies found Goins shot after they responded to a call on Berry Lane last Thursday. That's south of Whiteville in Columbus County. Goins died at the scene, and they do want to remind everybody, if you do see Eric Martin, authorities say do not approach him. They consider him armed and dangerous, and they say just call 911 to let them know where you spotted him. All right, it's a Monday afternoon. It's 17 minutes before 5. We're looking at Carolina Beach Road. On the left-hand side of the traffic there, that's headed toward the Monkey Junction stoplight at Piner Road. The traffic on the right there, that's headed down toward Carolina Beach. It's getting to be summer. School's out, so it's not a surprise that on rush hour on a Monday, you're seeing a lot of traffic use Carolina Beach Road. And our traffic reporter, Daniela Hankey, is in tonight. What are we looking at? Any problems areas today?
So some good news.
Yep.
Knock on wood, though.
Okay.
No crashes right now.
Good.
That is some promising
That's great
news, especially
news.
after what we saw this morning on that bridge over towards 17 Brunswick County. That was just a mess.
Yep.
Some people waiting for several hours in that. But we are still seeing some of those delays, especially if you're heading down the South College area. Typical this time of the evening, Military Cutoff Road towards Mayfair, also seeing some of those slowdowns. But I do want to give you a look at South College so you can just see what we're talking about. This is if you're heading towards Longleaf Park area over by that Trader Joe's, and you can already see that traffic build up, that bumper to bumper if you're heading towards that area. Also coming towards UNCW, also seeing a lot of those slowdowns, a lot of that bumper-to-bumper traffic towards that way too. Now, if you're heading on our area bridges, things aren't looking too bad right now, which is a good sign, especially if you're heading into the Brunswick County area. Westbound side, just seeing a little bit of those slowdowns on the Cape Fear Memorial Bridge. Isabel Holmes Bridge on the westbound side also seeing some. That is typical this time of the evening. Let's go ahead and show you a bigger picture of the Cape Fear Memorial Bridge as you're heading into Brunswick County. Things are not looking too bad right now. Heading into Wilmington, seeing some of that congestion, especially as you get towards where that bridge is and kind of coming down into the Wilmington area. But like I said, John, good news right now, not tracking any crashes, of course. Let's try to keep it that way for this evening.
And we need to get a crew out there to trim that tree, too. That branch is kind of getting in the way on that Cape Memorial Bridge shot there.
I'll send someone out immediately.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not usual that we have, like, clean and green on a rush hour traffic anywhere around here.
And especially a Monday. So
Yeah.
this is really a blessing. And during the summertime,
Yeah.
as people are out and about exploring.
Yeah. Okay. Daniela Hankey, you'll see her giving traffic updates on WECT News starting at 5. Appreciate you coming in, Daniela. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Always good to have you. June is Internet Safety Month, and it coincides with most kids and teenagers being out of school for the summer months. The Department of Justice has a department inside it called the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention. It observes Internet Safety Month to raise awareness about the dangers that children can find online, especially with the rapid increase and advancements with artificial intelligence. And kids are out of class, they're spending more time on the computer or their phones in the summer months. Extra screen time that mom and dad might not be aware of, well, that can come at a cost. WECT's J.C. Caldwell following this story for us tonight. And you actually talked to a computer crimes expert about this issue. What'd you find out?
Yeah, so computer crimes expert with the state SBI. And I actually asked him for some numbers, which really stood out to me, John.
Right.
I asked him, how many, because they do these investigations into online predators that are trying to reach these children online and on their screens. And he told me that they had 4,900 tips back in 2019. So 4,900.
Okay.
But last year, they had over 52,000.
Wow.
Huge jump. So
Yeah,
I was
7
shocked by
years,
that.
yeah.
Shocked by that. Yeah. So over 1,000% increase just within the last few years since 2019. So definitely a big increase going on right now, and that they're just trying to spread the awareness. Kids need to be aware of this. Parents especially need to be aware of this.
Right.
And, knowing that parents can do something too.
And I read a little bit on the Department of Justice website is that they want to increase awareness, but they also want to give parents some ways to help keep their kids safe, right?
Yes, and the biggest way that this computer crimes expert talked about was just getting involved and knowing what your kids are doing online, who they're interacting with online. The example he gave is if your kid walks out the front door and you don't know where they're going, of course you're going to be like, hey, where are you going? What are you doing?
Right.
When are you going to be home? But then I shouldn't say no parents, but he says a lot of parents are not asking those same questions when their kids are on their device.
Right.
And I thought that was a great example because I'm
Sure.
like, okay, yeah, that definitely makes sense. And so he says parents just need to be asking those questions. Hey, can you walk me through this app that you're on? Can you walk me through, who you've met on here? And then parents can kind of recognize those dangers that kids aren't looking for.
Yeah, because let's face it, the generation that we're talking about, whether it be 4th or 5th graders or even high school kids, they've been born almost to go online. My generation, not your generation, probably more than mine, but
Yeah.
these kids have had these devices and iPads and stuff of the like ever since their first couple of times of recognizing, SpongeBob SquarePants or whoever the cartoon may be. So they go places where mom and dad may not know on the internet because they're just used to surfing and they're used to doing this all the time.
Yes, exactly. And that's why, this official mentioned it can be really intimidating for these parents because they don't understand the technology that's going on.
Right.
And so he goes, that's why take a moment to have your kids walk you through the app. Like they are the expert on the technology they're using.
Yes.
They can be the ones to explain that to you. You just have to take the time to do it.
Yeah, my 6-year-old grandson, he picks up the iPad, he can go boom, boom. He can take me places and look at videos that I'm like, what are you doing, Jack?
Yes.
But he goes through it like this. And so it's the generation, you've got to make sure that we're careful with them. And that's a great analogy, too. If they walked out the front door, you'd be worried, where are they going online?
Yep, exactly. And who are they talking to?
Yep. All right, WECT's J.C. Caldwell looking into Internet Safety Month. That story comes up at 5. Your first report at 5, second one at 6 o'clock, right?
Yep.
All right, look for J.C. on our newscast tonight. Thanks, J.C. Appreciate you coming in. Tragic story out of Missouri over the weekend. 12 people died. A skydiving plane took off and then seconds later crashed. 11 skydivers and the pilot all died in that crash. Maggie Vespa gave us an update a short time ago on the investigation. Federal investigators now on that scene. Here's Maggie's report.
Hey there, local authorities reopening roads around the crash site overnight, and we're going to zoom here because astonishingly, that's it, just across the road. You can see it on the ground, mangled and just frozen in time. This as investigators with the National Transportation Safety Board are set to start combing through that wreckage and trying to figure out why this plane went down, killing 11 skydivers and their pilot. In other words, everyone on board, according to authorities. Now, this crash happened Sunday morning. We're about an hour south of Kansas City, and witnesses say the aircraft, a Pacific Aerospace P-750, struggled to gain altitude shortly after taking off from Butler Memorial Airport, which is very close to here. They say it struggled and suddenly made a sharp left turn before crashing. That's according to the airport's acting manager, who also said he believes the pilot may have been attempting an emergency landing on the road when the crash happened. Local authorities stressing right now this appears to have been an accident, but again, the investigation is just beginning. Now, the flight was organized by Skydive Kansas City, who said in a statement that the crash is devastating, writing, "Our deepest sympathies are with the family, friends, and loved ones of all who are lost." And at this point, authorities are not releasing the names of the 12 people on that plane who were killed, saying they're still working to notify all next of kin. Back to you.
All right, Maggie Vespa on that tragic story coming out of Missouri, the skydiving plane crashing, 12 people killed. All right, let's take a look at what's trending on WECT.com and our news app on this Monday. You may remember back to last week when WECT's Connor Smith did a story about UNC Health and Novant Health, both filing applications to build a hospital in Wilmington. Well, now there's a third player in this, I guess you want to call it contest, or in this effort to build a new hospital in Wilmington. Atrium Health has submitted an application to build a new hospital. More than 200 local physicians and clinical providers across North Carolina support Atrium Health. And there's been a study that says there is a need for more hospital beds in Wilmington. And so that is the third certificate of need filed, along with UNC Health and Novant Health, all trying to build the hospital in Wilmington. We're told that the state will give the approval to, I guess, one of those three entities a little bit later this year. So now there is a third player in the effort to build another hospital in the city of Wilmington. Firefighters called to an equipment fire at a business in Wilmington. This happened a short time ago. Fire rescue crews responded to a piece of equipment that caught fire at a business on North Carr Avenue. It involved a grinder machine at American Property Experts, 2831 North Carr. We heard no injuries reported in the first call that we got from officials when we made a call on this. That was the first initial review that they provided to us. We're still waiting for more information. Also up high on our website and our news app, a tragic story. This out of Kissimmee, Florida, where a pair of 5-year-old twin sisters on vacation drowned in the pool at the home their family was renting. Again, the family from Atlanta on vacation in Kissimmee. The twins found unconscious at the home's backyard pool just hours after they arrived. A tragic story happening in that part of Florida. And then a B-52 bomber from the U.S. Air Force crashed after taking off at a military base in Southern California. It reportedly started a brush fire. The U.S. Air Force Base in California's Mojave Desert. The B-52 bomber crashed shortly after taking off. It went down about 11:20 this morning Eastern Time. No immediate information on whether anyone survived the crash. Again, it did spark a brush fire in that part of the Mojave Desert in California. And let's see what else. Crash on Highway 17. That's what Daniela was speaking about. This happened earlier this morning, the crash happening on Highway 17, impacting traffic. That has since cleared, but that story is still playing up high among the top 5 on our website. And let's see what else. Did something else pop in? Yes, this is a story we're following as well. We got word about this early this morning that a food delivery driver hit a pedestrian on the road in the city of Wilmington on South Carr Avenue, 3:45 in the morning on Sunday. WPD said apparently the 25 or 22-year-old man was walking with two friends in the roadway when that person got hit. The victim taken to the hospital, serious injuries according to police. So that's the top 5 right now on WECT.com and our mobile news app. So that's a Monday for WECT News Now. Let's get you into the studio. WECT's Francis Weller going to be delivering the news at 5 o'clock, and I believe it'll be Gabe Ross doing the weather. I think Ella will take over the weather starting at 6 o'clock tonight, 6, 7, 10, and 11. Yeah, there's Gabe. Gabe coming in to do weather at 5 and 5:30. And so that's WECT News Now. We appreciate you joining us again. Hurricanes fans, Saturday morning, the parade, downtown Raleigh, 11 o'clock. Celebrate the Stanley Cup champion Hurricanes. And we'll see you back here tomorrow afternoon, everybody. Thanks for watching.